Paralives got delayed, and now that the shock has settled, it's time to talk about what this really means for all of us, players and content creators. Hey channel surfers, Chanel here. Thanks for tuning back into my Chanel, Channel Chanel, and if you're new, welcome. By now you've probably heard the news. If you haven't, do you live under a rock? If so, what does your rent or mortgage look like? Paralives Early Access has been delayed till May 25th, 2026, and honestly there has already been dozens of reaction videos, the I'm devastated videos, the I'm not surprised videos, spoiler alert, the let me read the full announcement to you videos, the deep sigh, here we go again videos, the funny ones, the calm analytical ones, the panicked ones, and the quick 2-minute summaries made 30 seconds after the news dropped. I'm guilty of this, yet mine was 10 hours after, #momlife, but I digress. Everyone had something to say, and fast. So, this isn't just a reaction, this is a retrospect. After the dust settled, after everyone breathed it out, after the emotions turned into reflection, this is, okay, now that we've all had our moment, let's take a deep breath. Now, what does this actually mean? Honestly, when the delay announcement went up, I wasn't shocked. So far, there has been Patreon-only live streams for the Paramaker and Build mode. Then earlier on in November, there was a Patreon-only live mode live stream that I completely missed. I missed the live chat, the commentary, the live reactions, everything. But then on November 14th, when they posted the replay right alongside the delay announcement, I sat down to watch it, and everything clicked. Obviously, I can't tell you anything specific, but if you know, you know. But while I watched, part of me thought, this game is magical, but it still needs time. I saw it, the tiny gaps, the unfinished edges, the little places where you could feel they were still stitching the world together. Nothing alarming, nothing disappointing, just the reality of an indie team still polishing something big and ambitious. Here's the thing, most of us in this community are positive, patient, and encouraging. But I can only imagine the harsh comments the team probably would receive afterwards. And honestly, so many people still don't understand what early access actually is, especially from a 10 to 13 person indie team. So yes, the delay stings, but it also makes perfect sense. And I totally get why they did this. Now that we've unpacked why the delay happened, let's talk about what's next, because the updated roadmap finally gives us a crystal clear snapshot of where the team is focusing their energy. Not just the big features, but the details. The stuff that wasn't there at all until November 14th. Let's break it down. First, how the Paralives Notion roadmap is structured. The roadmap is divided into 5 sections: Live Mode, Paramaker, Build Mode, General Features, and Modding Tools. And each one of those is organized into Done, In Progress, Before Early Access Release, During Early Access Release, Under Consideration. Now, Paramaker, Build Mode, General Features, and Modding Tools didn't really see major changes with the delay. I won't be looking at these tabs individually because the big movement happened in Live Mode, specifically the Before Early Access Release section. And honestly, Alex told us exactly why in the announcement. Players enjoyed the flexibility and the customization of the Paramaker and Build mode. However, there's still impactful bugs in Live mode and the lack of activities to do in the town, which dampened the enjoyment of players, and we feel it's necessary to work on these before delivering the product to the community. Let's start with what's already completed, the Live mode features that are fully done. Control the speed of time or pause it, and modders can edit the different speeds. Households have a money account balance. We actually got to vote on a name for the currency in Paralives, and Paradigm won with 55%. Day and night cycle. Seasons also affect the duration of the sunrise and sunset time. If you couldn't tell, this is probably my favorite Paralives video. But so far, they have implemented 67 features, which is amazing. Seeing how much is already finished honestly reassures me. These are core systems, and they're not just started, they're done. That's a huge foundation for what's coming next. Next, here are the Live mode tasks the team was already actively working on before the delay. Create many character interactions and animations for Live mode. Create sound effects for Live mode. Create more words and recording for Parley, the spoken language of our characters. Special character behaviors for mailman, pizza delivery, etc. Balance the game's progression. New characters can move into town. These are nothing new or surprising. These were tasks that were already in progress. But if I can say, I'm really excited for the special character behaviors. Service NPCs have a special place in my heart. But now, this is where everything changes. With all the new tasks that appear in Live Mode, the Before Early Access release section on November 14th, we already had Create In-Game Live Mode tutorial, town activities and events and secrets, and overnight the Before Early Access release category expanded with brand new tasks. Every one of these was created on November 14th, 2025. Improve shops and what they sell, add more interactions to do on public lots around town, add more activities to do around town every day, create tutorial for life goals, create tutorial for build mode, create tutorial for emotions and wants, improve NPCs' autonomy based on specific lot types they're at, make sure NPCs are found inside shops, restaurants, and public lots that you visit to make these places more lively. Work on the NPCs' routines around town to improve immersion. Fix bugs around NPCs' routines around the town. Add ability to find parafolks on the town map, call them on the phone, and invite them home to more easily continue relationship development with the given parafolk that you've met in town. Fix many bugs around pathfinding to make sure every house and every spot in town has no pathfinding issues. Seeing this whole section grow overnight actually made me hopeful. These are the things that make a life simulation game feel alive, and the fact that the team added them publicly all at once tells me they're listening, adjusting, and improving in real time. Now let's look at what's planned for during early access. The features that will grow over time once the game is out. We can expect the game to keep evolving with call pairs over the phone and chat with them online, store leftovers in the fridge, basic gardening system, calendar menu displaying the schedule of characters, sexual orientation and preference system, social events like weddings, birthdays, parties, etc., story progression, owning and using cars and bikes, family tree menu, weather and seasons. They have very basic weather effects in the game, as seen in some of their videos, but it seems like they want to keep reworking it. Create gameplay and interactions related to pets. Objects can have effects on characters. Handle interactions and path conflicts between characters. Balance gameplay difficulty and progression following player feedback. More considerate live mode features. More various improvements following player feedback. Secrets and more. This is the long game section, the stuff that will keep expanding the world over time. Seeing cars, weather, family trees, story progression, and pets planned makes the future of Paralives feel huge. And finally, the ideas that aren't confirmed but definitely on the radar. Supernaturals. This is a fun category and the one that gets people's imagination firing, and I love that they didn't rule anything out. It's a reminder that this game will grow with us, not away from us. The Live Mode Before Early Access release section of the roadmap paints a very clear picture of what playtesters experienced. Live Mode wasn't lively yet. NPCs weren't doing enough. Public spaces felt too empty. The town needed routine, activity, and presence. Systems needed structure. Fundamentals needed tightening. This wasn't about graphics or aesthetics. This was about the soul of the game. And honestly, seeing this makes me more confident in the delay, not less, because this is the stuff that makes life simulation games feel alive. The devs didn't hide anything. They put it right there on the public roadmap, step by step. The transparency is greatly appreciated. And the best part, as this game evolves, this list will evolve too. We're going to see items move from before early access to in progress to done. And along the way, we may even see new features move into under consideration or brand new ideas pop up that none of us have imagined yet. Paralives isn't just being built, it's actively growing. And this delay gives the team the breathing room to shape the game into something with real longevity. And if we zoom out for a second, all of it makes sense, because Alex also reminded us what this tiny team is actually trying to build. Paralives is a colossal task. Life sims are really 3 games in one: an advanced and flexible build mode, a greatly customizable character creator, and a complex life simulation mode. Starting with 2 to 3 developers, growing to an average team size of only 10, we just need a bit more time to polish the simulation part of the game. This will ensure Paralives offers a great first experience when it launches, making players come back for every exciting free update and expansion afterwards. Hearing it straight from the source puts everything into perspective. This isn't a giant studio. This is a tiny, passionate team trying to build something massive and trying to do it right. That alone deserves respect. So what does all of this actually mean for us? For players, it means our first steps into Paralives are going to feel completely different than they would have in December. Instead of walking into a quiet town and wondering why it feels empty, we'll be stepping into a world that feels alive. One where shops feel active, NPCs have routines, and the town has its own personality from day one. Not perfect, not finished, but alive. And that's the whole point of a life simulation game. It also means fewer frustrations on launch day, fewer "why isn't this working" moments, a smoother first impression, a tutorial system that actually guides new players instead of leaving them confused, and a foundation that feels solid, not shaky. For creators, especially small, cozy gaming creators like us, the meaning hits a little differently. We suddenly have breathing room. We're not sprinting towards a December release, scrambling to learn or record before the wave hits. We get time to experiment, time to practice, time to grow with our channels without rushing or burning out. And honestly, that feels like a blessing in disguise. Because when I started my content creation journey, I made myself one promise. I create for me first. If anyone else enjoys it, that's a bonus, never the requirement. And if you're a neurospicy creator like me, you already know our brains move at their own rhythm. Some of us collect information and every tiny detail the way Ash wanted to catch them all, even if at the end of the day, it was just him and his Pikachu. It's how we process, it's how we create, it's part of our magic and not something to fight. And this delay gives us room to honor our unique rhythms, to take our time, to dig deeper, to tell better stories, to build the kind of cozy gaming content that feels aligned with who we are, not rushed or forced, or compared to anyone else. Because honestly, no shade, but what everyone else is doing has nothing to do with us. We're allowed to grow at our own pace and actually enjoy it. And who knows, maybe by the time early access finally arrives, I'll finally have the gaming laptop I always dreamed of and won't need to share my son's PC with him. Because let's be honest, my bed is still cozier than any desk setup ever will be. I'm sitting here right now. And my little potato Mac, yeah, she's down to her last 3 HPs. The delay doesn't just shift the date, it shifts the pressure. And in a weird, unexpected way, it gives us all a chance to breathe and to keep creating because our future selves will thank us. Creating this video reminded me why I love covering life simulation and cozy games. The emotion, the world building, the community, the shared anticipation. And it also reminded me that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to pause. It's okay to regroup. It's okay to let things take the time that they need. Sometimes progress looks like movement. And sometimes it looks like patience. And that's just as important, because sometimes the waiting is part of the story too. Alrighty, so what's next? I'm still working on my Paralives A Complete Recap miniseries. More Paralives news and updates, and more cozy gaming content. Even though perfectionism, procrastination, and extensive data collecting are still my arch nemesis, but gotta keep trucking along. And yes, I'll finally start posting more Let's Plays with live commentary, even though it really scares me, #dyslexia, but hey, practice makes perfect, right? And as Dory would say, I would love to hear from you and chat more in the comments. How are you feeling about the Paralives delay now that some time has passed? What's one thing you want to work on as a small creator? And I'm curious, what other games have you been playing lately? If you enjoy cozy gaming content like this, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and remember, the glass is still half full. There are so many more games to explore. We just need to push play. Until next time, channel surfers, happy living and cozy gaming. Okay, bye! Honestly, I would wait another 6 years if I had to. So hey, 6 more months doesn't even seem all that long.